Rachel Zegler campaigned for Kamala Harris. That hasn't helped things.
Vote for Kamala Harris. And it's actually non-negotiable.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Once upon a time, Disney could do no wrong. Every live-action reboot, they all printed money. But then came Snow White 2025, and suddenly, that fairy tale magic, gone. A movie so painfully unpopular that even Disney diehards couldn't defend it. But guess who's losing over all this? Rachel Zegler. Yes.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie.
Disney bet big on Snow White, and by big, we mean stupid big. The production alone cost $269 million. Add $100 to $200 million more for marketing, billboards, trailers, merchandise, interviews, the whole 9 yards. And you're looking at a movie that needed to make over $430 million just to break even. Instead, it didn't even come close. By the end of March 2025, the film only managed to scrape together a worldwide total of $143 million. Sounds like a decent number until you remember this was supposed to be Disney's next Lion King or Beauty and the Beast. Not some forgotten D-list remake. On opening day, it barely made $16 million, with just $3.5 million from Thursday previews. By the end of the weekend, it had earned $42.2 million in the US. Ouch. At that point, Disney might as well have filmed a bonfire of money and called that the movie. When critics saw Snow White, they hated it. The Rotten Tomatoes score plummeted to 40%, making it one of the worst reviewed Disney remakes of all time. The Guardian said watching it was like an AI-created migraine. The New York Times called it not even fun to make fun of. And let's talk about Gal Gadot for a second. She played the evil queen, but critics weren't scared of her. They were embarrassed for her. One review straight up called it possibly her worst performance ever. That's not what you want in a billion-dollar franchise. Now, things took an even messier turn when Rachel made a strange comment about Gal Gadot, calling her a pageant queen in a way that felt more like a jab than a compliment. People were already side-eyeing that, but then Rachel added fuel to the fire with a sentimental Instagram post thanking the cast. Except she completely skipped Gal. Not a mention. Not even a basic thanks for being part of this. Now, fans and gossip pages are asking the obvious. Was it just a harmless forget? Or was she throwing shade? With all the behind-the-scenes tension already rumored between them, especially given their opposing political views, it didn't exactly feel like a coincidence. People are wondering if Rachel only did this out of anger because she's the one facing all hate right now. And before Snow White, Rachel Zegler was the Golden Girl. She had charmed the world in West Side Story, and Disney handed her one of the most iconic roles in animation history. It should have been a dream come true, but it turned into a PR disaster.
She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Rachel didn't just promote the film, she practically insulted it. During interviews, she slammed the original 1937 Snow White as outdated and creepy. She said she hated the idea of Prince Charming and that this version of Snow White didn't need a man to save her. While that message might work in some circles, it ticked off a massive chunk of Disney's loyal fan base. Instead of being the face of the movie, she became the face of the controversy. And you know what people love? The Seven Dwarfs. You know what Disney got rid of? The Seven Dwarfs. After actor Peter Dinklage called the original film backward, Disney tried to modernize the concept. But instead of hiring real dwarf actors or reimagining the roles smartly, they created an awkward mashup of CGI creatures and average-sized people. The result was a huge mess.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures.
Fans called it disrespectful and weird. The visuals look like a video game from 2010, and the charm of the original dwarfs, gone. So not only did the film disappoint narratively, it also alienated a group of actors who could have added real heart and authenticity to the film. Now before we move on, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, because what's coming next will shock you. One of the biggest insults was when old videos of Rachel surfaced online, including one where she smugly said, "People will wait in line to see my movies." The confidence, you see? But oh man, that clip aged like rotting cheese in a microwave. And guess what happened after all? Right after Snow White dropped like a rock, social media went savage. Photos of completely empty theaters went viral, like not one person in the room. One user on X didn't hold back. No one waited in line, no one even showed up. The janitor had more screen time than the audience. It was brutal, and honestly, kind of shocking to see a Disney movie get roasted this hard. Social media even lit up with screenshots of empty theaters and fans mocking her confidence. As if the movie drama wasn't enough, Snow White found itself caught in a real-world political firestorm. Rachel Zegler had made statements in support of Palestine, while Gal Gadot, an Israeli and former soldier, stood firmly behind Israel. The internet exploded. People weren't just arguing about the movie anymore, they were arguing about them. Sources claim the tension between the two actresses off-screen was palpable, with awkward energy during press events and strained communication during filming. A global release that bombed in several markets where one or the other actress's stance sparked controversy. Now imagine watching a fairy tale where Snow White and the evil queen are beefing in real life. This was all just a warning sign. After the Marvels tanked and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny barely broke even, Disney was already wobbling. But Snow White delivered the knockout punch. This film was supposed to revive Disney's struggling live-action lineup. Instead, it became a meme, a punchline, and a very expensive mistake. And now, Disney is sitting on a $115 million loss. Some fans are even accusing Disney of losing its identity. Instead of focusing on heart, story, and magic, they're chasing trends, rewriting classics, and alienating the very audience that built the empire in the first place. After the flop, Rachel Zegler tried to keep quiet, but the internet didn't have it. Clips from her past interviews blew up again. Fans mocked her for trashing the original, for being smug, and for talking more about herself than the character. Memes flooded X, TikTok, and Instagram. Empty theaters, cringy soundbites, hashtags like #NotMySnowWhite and #ZeglerFlop trended for days. One viral tweet summed up the mood. Their Snow White hates Snow White. How is this ever going to work? Let's be honest, not every classic needs a remake. And definitely not every remake needs to be a modern take that flips everything fans loved about the original. What made Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs a legend wasn't just the story, it was the heart, the whimsy, the simplicity. When you strip all that away, you're not left with a fairy tale, you're left with a focus-grouped Frankenstein. And Rachel Zegler? She might bounce back. She's young, she's talented, but this scandal will follow her. Every movie she promotes from now on, people will remember this moment. Every confident quote she drops, it'll get replayed with that $115 million failure in the background. The studio's leadership is reportedly in panic mode. The failures are piling up, fans are tuning out, and Disney Plus is bleeding money. They're facing a critical choice. Keep pushing these half-hearted reboots or get back to what made Disney great in the first place. So, was Rachel Zegler unfairly blamed for Snow White's failure, or did her own words dig the hole deeper? Let us know your views in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want another juicy controversy.